Soldier boy, tough. Hey, I got it.
Hello, and welcome to Lesson 5 of Miss Volk's online classroom. Today we will be learning about pitch, melody, and something truly terrifying. It's how to read music. So, as my BFF Maria Von Trapp always says,
when you read, you begin with
A, B, C.
When you sing, you begin with do, re, mi.
hold on there, Maria. You're telling me that you have 7 children that have never sung before, and then by the end of this impossibly long song, they're musical prodigies? I don't buy it.
Disclaimer, The Sound of Music is actually my favorite movie, and Julie Andrews is the embodiment of literal perfection.
I'd like to begin with something a little simpler than that. Before you can do anything, you have to start with pitch. I'm going to play a pitch for you right now, and it's kind of challenging, so I hope you're very impressed. I know. I'd like to thank 4 years of music education for getting me to this point, but in all seriousness, it really is that simple. You start with one note. A pitch can be high, medium, or low.
Like Maria said, when you first start reading, you start with a letter. So let's do that.
In the alphabet, you start with A, but you have to learn all 26. Thankfully, the musical alphabet only has 7. So let's all sing our musical alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So that's seriously it for pitch. We good? Nobody's crying yet? Oh, quit. You can't even play music. You don't have any thumbs. It's melody time. Melody time. It's just like writing a word or a sentence. You might start with A, but then you need to put different letters that make sense together. It wouldn't be a good sentence if you just had, yes, I'd like to read this marvelous essay. It says, So you don't want your melodies to sound like that either. Some songs do start out on the same pitch. Jingle bells, but you don't want them to stay there. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bell. So of course you added more notes to make it a song. Let's see an example. I already showed you pitch. So if you add on to that, this is what a melody sounds like. I mean, honestly, where's my Grammy?
Did somebody say Grammy?
No. Melody is going to be the part that everyone knows and sings. This is what music would sound like if there was no melody. Ba, ba, ba. So good, so good, so good. Day, gray, lonely, chin, grin, say, Mamma mia, here I go again. My, how can I resist ya? Obviously, the melody is the recognizable part of the song. It can be played, sung, or hummed, but not rapped unless there's auto-tune. That's because rapping itself is just speaking in time. It's spoken rhythm. You don't rap on an F or a B flat. Unless you're Lin-Manuel Miranda, and then you can do whatever you want. And now on to reading music. It's really not as scary as it seems. I'm sure many of you have heard of Every Good Boy Does Fine.
Every good boy does fine. I'm alive.
And Face.
F-A-C-E, face. In the space.
This is a music staff. On your music staff, you have 5 lines, and inside of those lines are 4 spaces. You start at the bottom and use the acronym to teach you the notes for the lines. Every good boy does fine. You also start at the bottom for the spaces. F-A-C-E.
That's a nice enough starting point, but let's be honest, are you really going to use that when you're trying to read music? Okay, so we have 4th space, F-A-C-E. Now 4th line, every good boy does, that's a D. A 3rd space, F-A-C. Wait, how did that go again? It's important to learn the relationship between notes. I'm going to show you something that will blow your mind. So let's do the lines and spaces again. Does everyone remember their musical alphabet?
So let's start with E for every good boy does fine. What if you go up a space? You have an F. Then you go up a line and you have G. What does that sound like?
Okay, we get it.
So our musical alphabet doesn't have an H or an I or a J. So we go back to A and B and so on.
So what if you have to skip notes? It's simple. Just skip over the next letter.
Sure, going down is a little harder because you have to think the alphabet backwards, but in time you'll get the hang of it.
Plus, there are only 7 letters. Once you understand how the music staff works, and it's not just boys and faces, reading music gets a lot easier. Plus, you can always go back to the acronym if you're stuck. And there you have it. Pitch, melody, and reading music. You have the building block of music, what you create with it, and how to create it. Once you learn how to read music, the possibilities are endless. You could even join your school choir.
Just do it!
And so, as my BFF Maria Von Trapp would say, no, the other one.
So long, farewell, I'll be saying goodnight.
See you next time.